Did you know that in a study done by the University of Utah in 2010, there were 31,000 firearm-related deaths? Of these, 61% were non-homicide related, with the other 49% being homicide related. These included just normal murders and then mass shootings. Did you also know in the last year there have been at least two major shootings, one in Newtown, Connecticut, and the other one in Colorado at the Batman premiere? While these are tragedies, I do not believe that firearms should be banned. However, I do believe that they should be regulated. To ban firearms would be unconstitutional. Under the Second Amendment right, we have the right to bear arms. However, when this was written, it was written so we would have a militia to defend ourselves. We no longer have that need for a militia since we have the National Guard. However, we still do have the need for firearms to defend ourselves against intruders on our property and to defend ourselves against animals and other such creatures that will roam onto our property. Now again, I did say I do believe in regulation of firearms. While it would be unconstitutional to take them away, it would not be unconstitutional to limit which firearms the civilian population is allowed to possess. It also would not be unconstitutional to require training for such firearms. One such source of training is, of course, the NRA, National Rifle Association. They do a lot of competition-style shooting, and would be a great source for a training program that could be required. Also, if you own a pistol, you have to get a concealed carry license in some states. I believe you should be required to get a license to carry any pistols. Many people want to attribute the violence associated with firearms to video games and violent TV shows. This, however, is not true. I've watched violent shows, played violent video games, never have I shot someone. When I was growing up, we didn't have firearms, but we did have BB guns, and I was taught to respect any gun, no matter what it looked like, and never point at anything I wasn't willing to shoot, and never point at a person, period. Then I joined the military and was taught all kinds of rules, like make sure there's none behind your targets, only point your weapon if you're willing to shoot, don't ever put your hand on trigger unless you're going to shoot. So I've had training with firearms, and I'd say it's for the better. I know not to shoot somebody unless I absolutely have to. Last but not least, let's look at gun laws in one state. The state that I call, well, my home state for now while I'm stationed here is Texas. They do not require you to register your gun when you buy it. There is also no wait period to buy a gun. Therefore, you can literally walk out of the store with a gun with no prior experience. Now, if they had a waiting period, you'd have to wait for your gun. If they required training, you'd have to get proper training to own and operate a gun. While only 1% of accidents in 2010 were related to injuries, chances are that would have been an even lower statistic if there was required training. Let's just recap on a couple of things. First off, TV shows and video games are not the cause for mass shootings. The cause for mass shootings is instability through the use and care of firearms. With proper training and regulation, firearms can be safe and fun to use.